You're listening to Women Are the Journey with your hostess with the mostest. That's right, me, Audrey Groeschel. We've got all your journeying here. We've got the story of the shift, where women entrepreneurs talk about their own unique journey on the road of owning a business as a woman. We have the journey of Chew on This, where I talk about the masculine structures of our society, how they hinder women in particular, but all of us in general. We'll open up the potentials of what a balance of feminine and masculine can give to us and to our planet. Join me as we explore the infinite possibilities of a journey of balance and transformation. Welcome into this week's episode of Chew on This with Women Are the Journey. We're going to be taking a look this week at feminine attributes, feminine qualities, and really looking at whether they're weak or powerful, if they are a strength or if they are a detriment to you, and what they actually mean and how society looks at it. Welcome in. We're going to be digging right into it and taking a look, and I'll be talking at you on the other side. Howdy, everybody. It is Audrey Groeschel here, and you're listening to Women Are the Journey, and we're going to be working on a little chew on this today, and we're going to be chewing on a little bit of feminine qualities and what they actually mean, and looking at them from a different standpoint. Let's just jump right in, shall we? One of the things that I keep seeing, or at least it seems very obvious to me, is the inherent disbelief of feminine power. That it doesn't have the strength, it doesn't have the respect. Feminine power is just women. And one of the things, at least one of the reasons that I believe that, is because we've been trained to look at feminine power as sex, as attracting men, as, that woman over there, every man in the room's looking at her. Look at the way she's dressed, look at the curves, look at the shoes, look at the jewelry, look at the hair. That's looked at as being feminine. One of the top hits on looking for feminine qualities was a question that said how to become more feminine. Well, the top 5 things were literally wear more dresses, pick different colors, enhance your shape, wear more jewelry. There was nothing in there about being feminine. There was just a list of what it looks like, in society's opinion, to be feminine. No wonder there's no respect for the feminine. When everything that we have, especially those horrid fashion magazines and Cosmo and Variety or whatever it is, I don't even know. All of those magazines telling us that we need to look a certain way or dress a certain way and that makes us women. That's a load of crap. And it's one of the reasons why being feminine is looked at in an ugly light. How could we look at a woman who's put together beautifully and not think that she's being fake? That she's doing something inherently wrong because she's following the rules that the society has placed on how to be feminine. She's just doing it. She wants to be feminine. So she's wearing her pretty dress and putting on her jewelry and wearing her pretty shoes and accentuating her curves. And yet that's not enough, because the big problem is that isn't being feminine. Those are the trappings of our society's idea of what being feminine is. And we look at the feminine power of that and say that it's using your looks. We need to change that. And so what we're going to do today is I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the basic feminine qualities, what they are and why they're great, and what they mean for actual feminine power. So let's go. So the feminine is communicative. Duh. Right? How many more words a day do women speak than men? Hello. No wonder. And it doesn't, matter that our brains have a much larger area of communication than the male brain does. That may be why we actually speak a lot more. But we're communicative. Well, how is that a weakness? It's not. If you look at it, we're communicating to create connection, create community, create the social fabric that we live under. That's what communication is. Now, granted, not all of us do it very well, but that's a whole other subject. But we're communicative. And really, that's a straight biological imperative right there because of the way our brains are designed. We can't get away from it. We have a larger communication space in our brain that's designed to be able to communicate. It's connected to the emotion space, which is also much larger than a man's. So let's move on, shall we? Nurturing. There's a big feminine quality right there, right? Hey, what do you know about that? We're the ones that have the babies. So how is that not a good thing? We want our babies to feel nurtured and loved and cared for, to be able to bring them up to be decent human beings, for crying out loud. So here we have nurturing. The bad thing is that other women and men look at nurturing as a weakness. And it couldn't be further from the truth. Here's another one. Women are cooperative. They're aggression averse. That's putting it mildly. Women don't like arguments. Women don't like the aggressiveness that men do. I mean, come on. Everybody's been out and seen, the fights, the men get in a fight. And what do the women do? They're trying to break it up. No. Let's fix this. Let's talk about this. Let's not fight. Men are ready to go because their aggression centers in their brains are huge. Women's tiny. We're cooperative. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so. So here's another one. Feminine quality. Here's one for you. We're gentle. How is that a bad thing? It's wonderful because you know what? It's the yin yang to the masculine strength. Do you know how much strength it takes to be gentle? It ain't easy. And trust me, coming from this woman right here, being gentle is one of the hardest things I do. I have to think about it because I was raised with that strong masculine thinking that gentle was a weakness, and it's not. Gentle is needed in our society. It's accepting, it's nurturing, it's loving. It brings ease, not just to the people around us, but to ourselves. Gentle is hugely important and immeasurably powerful. Women are sensitive. Oh boy, aren't we? Especially depending on the time of the month, right? So we're sensitive. And that means that we're sensitive to others, which goes into that communicative, community building, connecting, all of that stuff. If you're sensitive, does that make you weak? Oh yes, in our society it does. What are you doing crying? You're too sensitive. You take everything personally. Well, that's a load of crap too. Being sensitive, just like being gentle, takes an enormous amount of power inside to be able to allow yourself to be sensitive. Those are all feelings and emotions. Come on, people. We know how easy it is to get into our feelings and emotions. Am I right? All right. So how much power and strength does that take to be able to get into being sensitive? There you go. Look, we're compassionate. We're sympathetic. We're tender. We're emotional. And then here's the big one. We're intuitive. One of the things that women do, and they call it intuition, but it's really body language. Women read faces. They do it from the time they're infants. It's what they do. When you look at a little baby girl, they stare at you and they analyze your face and they're putting it all together. A boy, he doesn't care. He's looking at everything that's moving around him. Boys don't do that. Girls do. Girls spend their life analyzing and watching everybody's faces, their body language. They're looking for the underlying message behind all of it. People would consider that intuitive, right? Well, what about the real intuition? What about the putting all the pieces together and knowing what to do? That's intuition. And everybody has it, but women actually have a piece of their brain that's fairly large that is intuitive. And everybody gets poo-pooed for following their intuition. I got a gut feeling. Yeah, you do. You know what's really powerful about intuition is following it. You know what's weak about intuition is not listening to it. One of the biggest powers of the feminine is the ability to bring all kinds of components and elements together to create something different. It's being able to see, not necessarily outside of the box, but because we are remembering everything that we've ever done, we're connecting all of the emotions and the feelings that we've ever had, that we remember what he said here, what she said there. All of it comes together for us, and we bring it all together into something new and different. That's hugely powerful. It's a multi-focus way of looking at everything. And that is an inherently feminine quality. And it's super powerful. And it's not honored in our society. And that has to change. The power of the feminine is to utilize information, use their intuition, be emotional. Because you know what? When you're emotional, you allow others to be emotional too. People who wouldn't normally do it. They may cry along with you, for crying out loud. It gives women a level of wisdom and power that the masculine simply can't have. But they have their own power. And to be honest, I kind of like my feminine power a lot more than the masculine power. Now, granted, I'm still working on trying to be in that feminine power. It's a lot of work after being in that masculine power most of my life and being told that the feminine is bad and weak. And we have the ability to change that now. So, all of you women out there, are you nurturing? Are you being gentle? Are you being sensitive, compassionate? Are you being cooperative? Are you allowing yourself to be who you inherently are? Or are you covering all those things up? It's a good question, isn't it? I hope that today's Chew on This gave you a little something to chew on. And I'll be talking at you next week about something new and different. Thanks for joining me on Chew on This and Women Are the Journey. See ya. Hey everyone. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, or even if you didn't, hit that subscribe button and share it with your friends. You can follow me on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher at Women Are the Journey. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.